Hey, sports porchers! It's your hockey Jesus. And I'm here. I know it's not right after the game, it's the morning after. I'm a busy guy. I got lots of things going on, but I always got time for some hockey, and I got some time for hockey for you this morning. However, if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, I have some bad news. I'm here with Game 7 analysis of last night's game, yesterday afternoon's game of the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Winnipeg Jets. And I'm sorry to say that the Pittsburgh Penguins were losers in this contest by a score of 6-3. There were so many things going on in this game. There were just an amazing amount of line changes. And I'm good with the line changes. I think last year what happened with the Pittsburgh Penguins was they just got stuck in their ways because the first and second line, well, really the first line last year was the line that was going really well with Gensel, Russ, and Sid. This year, it's like the opposite is happening because this year we're getting all kinds of secondary scoring. You saw it again in the Winnipeg game. You got Lars Eller scoring twice. You've got Kevin Hayes, the new guy, the new old guy, scoring. And both of those guys have been great this year. However, that first line is really having a hard time getting it going. Let's talk a little bit about what happened in this Winnipeg game, just because I think it's a good microcosm of what the Penguins want to do and what the Penguins can do. What do the Penguins want to do? They want to play like Winnipeg. They love the fast game. This was one of those games, unlike the Carolina game on Friday night, where both teams could just skate back and forth. Yeah, there was still some hitting going on, but it was more of a free flow game. It was get to your speed, get to your spots. First one to shoot it wins. And Ned was on early. And on top of that, it was like 10-4. They were getting outshot again. And then the Penguins, because, by the way, Needle Nose Ned Nadelkovic, made his first start. And the Penguins are taking three goalies on the trip. He was a game time decision to start, too. So I don't know if that meant they were thinking about playing Bloomquist again. I doubt they were thinking about playing Jari, but at this point, it might not even hurt to try and play Jari, and I'll tell you why in a second. But Ned looked okay. Ned actually kept them in the game early. And then Lars Eller got to his game. They get two goals. They're up 2-0 in the second period, and everything looks good. And then the dams break loose because what happens is the Pittsburgh Penguins want to skate fast, and they can. They can skate back and forth for about a period, maybe a period and a half, but then they hit a wall because they're old and they just can't skate fast anymore. And I know that they've shook up the lines a little bit. I probably should have mentioned that to begin with. But on the first line, DOC got to move up to the first line. I'm a Drew O'Connor fan. I love Drew O'Connor. I just don't believe he belongs on the first line. I think that first line, I think you absolutely have to have Raquel up there with Sidney. And he must not want to play with him because it just seems to me there's something about Raquel's not inability to get to that first line, and I'm just not sure why. I honestly don't know because he should be the trigger man on that first line. You've got Rust who can chase the pucks down. You got Sid who can make the play. They have no trigger guy up there, and Drew's good, but he's not as fast as Raquel. He's not as big. He's not quite as savvy yet as Raquel getting into the slot. And I think that's a problem for the first line. And I think that's really the only problem with the first line. I know Sid still I think honestly, they don't have a fast line. They have some speed on the team now, but I don't think they have a fast line. I don't think they have a guy that's like, whoa, that guy's fast. And that's why Bolivier was up on the first line for a while. By the way, he got knocked down to the third line and played better. Honestly, because Lars Eller is just playing like a beast on that third line center. He can make anybody better right now, and that's good. They absolutely will need that in the future. Gino's going to take a little bit of a step back. Once again, older guy, not going to be able to sustain that 11 points over 6 games. That's just ridiculous pace for him. He's going to have to take a step back, and that's okay. Gino's off to a good start. He still had flashes last night where he still has his speed. I think that second line is going to be good, but that second line had, once again, Raquel on it. And actually, Bunning was a scratch for the first time, and they moved Pulljarvi up on the second line. I don't really like Puljujärvi on the second line either. I like Bunning up there. I'm not exactly sure why Bunning was scratched. It's a healthy scratch, so I think maybe they're just disappointed with his production, only having 1 assist in 6 games. That's not enough. I agree, but I think that's a guy. He's a grit guy. I think he would have been better to play against Winnipeg. He could have slowed them down a little bit more, in my opinion. But I'm okay with the changes. The only thing I didn't like was they brought up Pustin and made his first start of the season, and he's got some speed. Honestly, he would probably be better up on the first line than Drew O'Connor, but they put him on the fourth line with Hayes and Achari, and Hayes scored again. But Hayes' goal was a power play goal, so I still think Achari probably needs to sit every now and then. It was a lot of mixing up going on the lines, and like I said, I think that's fine. They'll find a good combination that works. Third line's working right now, no matter who's on it. First line, and here's the thing with the Stars and my first line concern. When you have Sidney Crosby, Chris Letang, Brian Rust, and Evgeny Malkin as a -3, honestly, that's all you really need to know about the Pittsburgh Penguins to get the job done. I have faith. Look, I'm going to put the tally up here for the West Coast. We're 0-1 on the West Coast right now. That puts us 3-4 on the season. Unfortunately, this is where I thought we would be, but they're going to have to find a way to steal 2 games on this West Coast trip. And with Calgary coming up on Tuesday, listen, Tuesday, if you're a hockey fan, no matter which team you watch, I'm the hockey Jesus. I love the Pittsburgh Penguins, but I love hockey more than anything. And, well, that's not true. Not anything. I love my wife. I love my kids. I've got a little perspective here on things. But as far as sports go, I love the game of hockey. Tuesday, almost worth taking a day off. You can watch hockey all day long. Every team in the NHL is going to be playing on Tuesday night. They did this last year. It's kind of a gimmick to get people to watch hockey, but I love it, actually. I think it's really smart. Every team playing in one day, that is just a great idea. Good for the NHL to keep that up again this year. But unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Penguins will be in Calgary, so they'll have one of the later games. Hey, it's not a 10 o'clock start. It's like an 8:45 start. That's why you'll see the weird times of starting times for games on Tuesday, because they want to keep games rolling all day long. The overtime usually messes that up at some point, but hey, what can I say? Overtime happens. So Pittsburgh Penguins lose, move to 3-4 on the season. Keep the faith, Pittsburgh Penguins fans. Let's go, Pens. And I will see you Tuesday night when the Pittsburgh Penguins play at Calgary. Game 2 of the West Coast trip. So until then, people, keep it real, and I'll see you on Tuesday.